Trevor Lawrence is an NFL quarterback. He played his very first professional game on Sunday. He did that. And before that game on Sunday, a regular season game, Trevor Lawrence in high school and college is 68-0 in wins in regular season games. He's never lost a regular season game in high school or at the college Division I level. He's pretty good. Now, personally for me, I think my window of opportunity for becoming an NFL quarterback has passed. Yeah, so we know that's not going to happen, like ever, and it never really did. But what does that have to do with succeeding at that? Well, Trevor Lawrence is very successful, obviously, as a quarterback. Sunday, he lost his first game, regular season game, because when you're the best person in college, you tend to get drafted by the worst team in the NFL. And it's an uphill battle from there. But we're going to talk this morning about how to become successful at just about anything you try. So how hard is it to get to the NFL? It's kind of hard. In high school, 1 year I averaged 2.5 touchdowns a game. I scored 108 points in 8 games. 108 points in 8 games. Now that sounds really impressive for high school football, even. Until I tell you that it was 6-man football, intramural. So there's that. It's all how you talk about the statistics. But how hard is it to get to the NFL in any position? Long snapper, second string guard, third string quarterback. How hard is it to get to the NFL? It's kind of hard. So how do you succeed at almost anything? Let's start with trying to get to the NFL. Now, if you got an email from me, the statistics in that email were kind of wonky. I took it from a website that was kind of wonky. What else can I tell you? These are a little closer, but the statistics, the exact numbers of the statistics don't quite matter as much as the percentages. The percentages are pretty accurate. So, high school football players, 1,093,000 and some football players. Kind of crazy. High school football players. Of that, maybe 13,000, over 13,000 actually get to play in a Division I school. The Division I school averages, they carry about 105 players per team. So 127 Division I teams with an average of 105. That comes out to 13,335. Every year, the NFL drafts 256 players. Guess what? Not everyone that's drafted makes the NFL team. So that puts the odds of making the pros at 0.019%. Wow. Just to get there. Just to be a third string something. 0.019. There's some things we just can't do. Some things you just can't. I can't make up for a lack of talent as a football quarterback or running back or any kind of back or forward or anything like that. Yeah, or basketball or anything like that. Some things you just can't compensate for. Size, agility, certain things. But then there's other things that you can compensate for. But we're not necessarily talking about trying to get you into the NFL, although that would be cool, because the starting salary for a person that makes the practice squad is $9,200 a week for 18 weeks. Which comes to about $160-some thousand a year. Just stand around and play football and let other people play and you watch. So, and the odds of getting there, absolutely crazy. So let's talk for a little bit about, let's just say that the odds were never in my favor. Let's just start with that. The odds were never in my favor to become a professional athlete at any level in anything. So apart from that natural physical ability, what about some other things? What about some other things? Because we're talking about how to succeed at almost anything. Almost anything. Football's off the table. So, apart from that, almost anything. What are you going to need? Well, there's 3 vital aspects to success in anything we do. Anything we do. An accountant, a secretary, a CEO of a company, the founder of a company, whatever it is, there's 3 vital aspects that if you nail these 3 things down, if you work at getting these, and it has nothing to do with your physical ability, how tall you are, how short you are, whether you talk a certain way or whether you speak a certain language, it just doesn't matter. But there are 3 vital aspects to success in anything that we do, and that's what we're looking at. So without them, the odds of succeeding are even less. Yes, the odds of succeeding are even less than 0.019% if you can't nail down these 3 things. In some degree, you have to have control over these 3 things, and that's what we're looking at. So the first one is mindset, how you think. If you get up in the morning and say, I'm a loser, I can't do this, my work sucks, I'm always going to be this way. Excuses. Wait a sec, I got something here I can show you. I wrote down a list of excuses. And when I talking about writing down a list of excuses, I wrote down a massive list of all the excuses people have for saying, I can't, I won't, oh, woe is me. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? You got to get up in the morning and start with a positive mindset. You have to do it. It's just something that has to be done. You have to learn how to see your mindset as a mind that grows. You are not stuck. My father was that way, so I'll be that way. My mama was that way, so I guess I'm always going to be that way. Now, yeah, I understand you get some parental traits that come down, but you don't have to think like it. And you don't have to be like it. You have to have a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. You have to have it. You have to learn how to do that. That's the first thing. The second thing is this: focus. If you can learn how to go deep and really learn how to focus on certain things, I mean, really pick that one thing and learn how to focus and go deep into that one thing. You're able to ignore the squirrels, the things that distract you. You're able to ignore all those all the things that are trying to draw your attention, like Facebook and TikTok. Wait a sec, you're on Facebook now. So apart from that, but learn how to deep focus over periods of time. That is a trait that if you nail that, that's 2/3, and mindset, that's 2/3 of what it is that you really need. Now, the third thing is time. Well, we all have time. Exactly, we all have time, but how we use time, that's the key. There's no such thing as time management. You can't manage time. You can't take, I can't take 2 o'clock and put it at 10 o'clock. It just doesn't happen. You can't manage it. You can't shuffle it. You're as old now as you've ever been in your entire life. Until now. You get where I'm going? Time doesn't stop. How you use your time is what matters. So if you have a mindset and know how to focus and know how to control what you do with the time that you have. So this isn't talking about time management. This is really talking about what you choose to do and what you actually do during this time. Now you're thinking, there's Bill, you've blown it. There's just a ton of things that you've absolutely and completely missed. You've missed these things. You've thrown these things away. Well, why aren't all these things on this list? Well, so you're saying, what about dedication? What about hard work? What about discipline? What about purpose? What about goals? What about talent? What about all those things? And my answer to you is really simple. What about them? What about them? If you have the proper mindset, if you learn how to have deep focus, if you learn how to do what you need to do with the time that you have, controlling yourself within the time that you have on a daily basis, well, dedication, hard work, discipline, purpose, goals, and talent, guess what? All of them are wasted. If the person, that's you, that's me, if the person doesn't cultivate a positive mindset, if you don't develop the ability of deep focus, and if you take control of their time, you take control of your time. Okay? They're all wasted if you don't do those 3 things. If you don't have a good grip on your time, you can be as dedicated as you want. To what? Squirrels? Dedicated? You have to have control. If you're going to be dedicated, a person that's dedicated will learn how to take control of their time. So there you go. So there's these three things, but what happens when you get into that sweet spot, that spot in the middle where everything is just converging? Your mindset is positive. You're feeding your mind every day with the things you need to have within yourself in order to move forward. You're excited about those things. It's not a pie in the sky mindset. It's an obvious positive mental mindset, a mindset that you can grow, you can learn, you can do more. And then you couple that with the idea that you take that mindset and you focus it on something that you really are seriously dedicated to wanting to learn. I really want to learn this. I really want to know this. I really want to become the best at this. And you learn how to focus. And then you add that to time, because if you have control over the time, or how you use your time on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, however you want to see it, even on an hourly basis, what happens in that sweet spot? Well, that sweet spot is your best odds for success. If you can get down all three, it's the best odds of success. Now, I'm saying all three because if you have a real positive, growing mindset and you've learned how to do deep focus, and you can't control what you do with your own time, what's the point? If you have a great positive mindset and you can control what you do with your time, and you're very disciplined and dedicated with what you do with your time on a daily basis, but you have no focus on something specific, then you're just bouncing from project to project. You're never staying with anything very long, and you'll never be successful in any of the things that you try. You see how the three need each other. They need each other. If you have a committed ability to do what you need to do with your time, and you're able to focus deeply on one specific thing, but the whole time you're saying this will never work, you have no positive growing mindset to it. Again, this sweet spot is a culmination of you adopting and working at all three. So, how do you get to the sweet spot? Thought you'd never ask. Thought I'd never tell you. First of all, you need to master your mindset. It's the first thing you need to do. You need to start to get up every day and master your mindset by putting some things in your mind on a daily basis that help teach you and to get you into the idea that you can do whatever it is you set your mind to do. You can. My daughter's decided that she's going to study for the LSATs, and she is. And she's been out of school quite a few years by now, but, she's going to move on. She believes that she can go on and move on and do those things, and I'm absolutely excited for her. My wife has decided to go back and get a second certification on a master's. So she's back in school while working full-time. Absolutely crazy, because they set their mind to it. Master your mindset. And obviously for both of those people, my wife and my daughter, they're really learning how to fine-tune your focus. Their focus. If you learn how to fine-tune your focus, dial in. Dial out the distractions. Dial out those things that suck up your time. Speaking of time, you have to take back your time. There are things that take your time away from you. Take your time away, like maybe just a little bit too much TV, or a little bit too much social media, or a little bit too much, I don't know, mindless fictional reading. I understand that there's a place for that. I don't get it. That's me. That might not be you. But take back your time. So master your mindset, fine-tune your focus, take back your time. That's how you get to the sweet spot. That's how you get there. That's how you can succeed at almost anything. This will not help you get to the NFL as a quarterback at any age. That takes a fourth element, and that takes talent that's developed. But if you take a person with amazing talent and they don't have the right mindset, if they don't learn how to focus deeply on their skill set and develop it, if they don't take the time and use the time to their advantage to develop their skill and their talent, they may be the most talented quarterback to ever bag groceries at a grocery store. So there's another story about that. So that's how you can succeed at just about anything. Your mindset, your focus, and your time. Get those three things together. You might not become an NFL quarterback, but you may become absolutely amazing at something else that you choose to really focus on. So Just as we wrap up today, conqueryourselfproject.com. Get your name on the wait list. That happens on November 1. It's open for 1 week starting on November 1. But you got to get your name on the wait list. And getting on your wait list does have its perks over time, so conqueryourselfproject.com is where you want to go. I'm Bill McConnell. Once you conquer yourself, everything else becomes possible. Have a great day.